Welcome back to another episode of Fifth Block Sports. I can officially say, and most of you listening are Chiefs fans, so I'm going to say it, our Kansas City Chiefs are world champions once again. That's 2 Super Bowls in 4 years under Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Wow, it feels good.
It feels great.
It feels real good.
Feels great.
Like always, check us out on all our social media outlets, YouTube, Twitter, gonorthman.org/podcast. And while you're on gonorthman.org/podcast, go ahead and check out the other podcasts that they have, the CHOP. They've got a couple more coming out as well. They have YouTube, and then they have the podcast links directly on gonorthman.org. Again, that's all Oak Park students reporting on Oak Park sports and then just sports in general, and of course our show. So go ahead and check that out on gonorthman.org/podcast. I'm excited to break down this Super Bowl. Let's get things rolling. Jalen, hit that green button for us. I'm going to say it again. The Kansas City Football Chiefs are Super Bowl champions. Just let that sink in. Just let it sink. Let's hear from Andy.
Hey, how about those Chiefs?
And man, it feels good.
It haven't sink in for me yet. I don't know why, but Sunday, man, I lost my voice Sunday. I was yelling.
It's getting me fired up even thinking about it again.
I was young. I was like, you Eagles fans can't talk no more. I had a video of me doing it.
Some good stuff. It was some good stuff.
It doesn't feel as good as the first one, though.
No?
Not as good as the first one.
The first one you're always going to remember because it's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
This, I kind of like Mahomes said, we earned this one, I think, from day one till on because no one believed we would get there. And, deep down, I think everyone doubted the Chiefs besides Chiefs fans, and it felt really good to prove everybody wrong.
Oh, once Tyreek left, the Chiefs are nothing. We have Andy Reid as the head coach.
We were supposedly in a rebuilding year, and we're walking away holding the Vince Lombardi trophy. They're like,
That's
the
a pretty
Chiefs,
good rebuild.
The Chiefs took a step back. They're rebuilding. They lost Hill. We're Super Bowl champions. We're the Super Bowl champions.
And off of that, we actually got pretty good receivers.
Yeah, talented. We're young.
MVS, Juju, Kadarius. Then we got rookie Scott Moore, and a couple trades too.
Not gonna lie, I think Mahomes just makes them look that good. I don't think they're bad. I just think they're like mediocre. I think Juju and MVS are mediocre wide receivers.
They get the job done.
They
but
do.
With Mahomes, it elevates him.
Yeah,
he can get the ball to him.
I'm just saying. I just think they're mediocre. I don't think they're like great. But that just makes it. I think that's what makes Mahomes even better. Is that like he makes receivers that were mediocre last year, like top receivers.
Yeah, I mean Justin Watson played a huge role this season. Who is Justin Watson?
Yeah,
Mahomes will make you know who he is. So he's gonna streak down and catch a couple touchdown passes along the way. This show is just gonna be a Super Bowl breakdown. So if you're still on your Super Bowl high, Chiefs fans, give us a full listen. We're going to break this game down quarter by quarter, give you all our thoughts, our reactions, and then we're gonna leave you with our 3 biggest takeaways from the Super Bowl and what it means moving forward. So one more time, Andy.
Hey, how about those Chiefs?
I love that. It gives me goosebumps. Let's take a look at the first quarter of this game. All the things with whoever wins the coin toss loses the Super Bowl. The Chiefs win the coin toss. Did that go through any of your minds? Because it kind of went through mine of like, of course, another thing against the odds of the Chiefs.
Me, what I was wondering is the curse that you win the MVP and then they say
not winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So Philly gets the ball to start, and whoa. I think they proved why they belonged in the Super Bowl, and undoubtedly, I think we got the best 2 teams in the Super Bowl this year. There was no fluke. It wasn't, Cincinnati should have been in, or San Francisco, if they were healthy, they should have been in. It was the Eagles and Chiefs, best 2 teams, and the Eagles showed their dominance that first drive. Their line,
it was going to be so mad if we couldn't get pressure.
I was screaming at my TV, we got to get to him, and Hurts had all day to throw. They ran the ball well. That first drive was like, okay, we may go blow for blow, but they're pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Someone just had to get the 3 points.
I love this. I don't think this was in the first quarter, but when Frank Clark was trying to get Jalen Hurts and the way he was running was
Oh yeah,
was funny.
He was about to go out of bounds.
He's like, So yes, I mean Philly's line does everything perfect. They get down to the 1 yard line, and then at this point, Philly runs that QB sneak so well, it's almost cheating. I mean, it's a guarantee, and you're not gonna stop a quarterback that squats 600 pounds. You just can't. His leg drive, they're just so good at it, and credit to them. They work on it. They get themselves in those situations where, it's 3rd and 1, it's 4th and 1. They know they've got it in the bag because they can just hike it to Jalen Hurts, and that whole line's going to push a defensive line back, 3 or 4 yards. So Philly goes in from the 1 yard line. Hurts gets his first of 3 rushing touchdowns on the day, and boy, do the Chiefs respond in a big way. And I think we had to. I think that opening drive for the Kansas City to literally march down the field, at that point when Travis Kelce scores that touchdown, I'm thinking the only way the Eagles win this game is if Travis Kelce just doesn't have 200 yards and 3 touchdowns, because he looked unstoppable in that first. He's wide open. And even I think Greg Olsen said is like, people always ask, like, how does Travis Kelce get wide open? He's just built different.
Dude, Andy Reid.
Well, also,
I would see Andy Reid too, because he gives Andy Reid is a good offensive coach. It's crazy.
Hey, Andy put on a clinic all day, and we'll get to it later. I think the 3rd and 4th quarter is really where he came to shine with some play calling. But that first drive was just so well scripted. They got the matchups they wanted. They used motion players to, for the Eagles' secondary kind of pass people off, and the Chiefs used that to their advantage on that first drive of getting a smaller guy on Kelce on the outside, and he took advantage of him. And what a throw, over the shoulder, basket catch. You couldn't ask for a better start of a Super Bowl.
I think with the Eagles, why were they playing cover 3 so much? Like that's destined to leave Kelce open if you play cover 3 so much.
I thought he was playing 2 high safeties most of the time.
He was playing cover 3 a lot.
Are they?
Yeah,
I know they switch kind of back and forth. I did hear them mention a couple 2 high safeties a couple of times, but yeah, kind of puzzling just because Kansas City's bread and butter is Mahomes to Kelce. And yeah, it kind of surprised me that they didn't almost double him or chip him every time, kind of like Cincinnati was doing to the Chiefs. So, we march all the way down, and then I think we got a huge stop. After that first drive, I was worried that it was going to be the last team to have the ball would win, which eventually it worked out.
Yeah,
like that.
I was
at the same time.
I was telling people, I was like, whoever gets the ball first wins the game. But I was like,
we got to get stopped.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, that first drive, it looked effortless for Philly. And then we get the 3 and out. And then my only note, what I wrote down during the game, was in the first quarter, we stopped ourselves. We missed the field goal. And that was the only bad drive. It wasn't even a bad drive. It was just we couldn't capitalize on points. I thought it was going to play a bigger factor than it ended up being. But,
well, it did, because we could have won the game
earlier.
That
is true. We could have won the game earlier.
That drive right there, we could have won. We could have just kneeled the entire time instead of having to try and get a field goal or touchdown.
That is true. I didn't even think about that. Early, Pacheco ran hard. You could tell he was hungry. He just attacks anybody and everybody.
But I feel like that's why we need to get another running back, because as you got later in the game, it kind of just went away. He wasn't
it
as
wears
effective.
on him.
Yeah. So I feel like that's why we should get another running back, because I think it's just because of his age and size that we don't trust Jerick McKinnon to run enough.
Yeah.
To kind of take that load off.
Yeah.
I feel
one more.
I feel like he's more of he comes in when we need to pass.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it was the wrong game. I don't know why we deactivated Clyde for this game. I get it, but he doesn't have to play every down. He only has to play a couple. He could
have been a great filler.
Yeah, I feel like you should have had Clyde in there.
We have extra running backs too. We didn't have to start Clyde. We could start
I'm not saying start. I'm just saying I don't know why he didn't even play. He wasn't even activated.
Yeah,
he was a healthy scratch.
Early as well, footing was an issue, I think, for a lot of players as the game went on. But I noticed it right off the bat. People are slipping and sliding all over the place, and the announcers made the comment, it seems more common in the painted areas, but I feel like all over the field people were losing their footing left and right, and
I feel like they repainted the field.
Yeah,
they were changing their cleats.
You don't want to change a lot of cleats. You don't want that in a Super Bowl, having to worry about the field.
I don't know why they just do turf. Like, just make it grass.
Yeah. It was grass. It was a new type of grass that they're testing out. I don't know why you test it out in a Super Bowl, but real thin.
Don't use it again.
Yeah, don't use Tacoma. Is like Tacoma 31 or something like that is what they call it. My other notes here, Philly protected Hurts well.
If it's like a different type of grass, I don't think it's real grass.
If it's a lab grown grass,
I don't feel like it's grass.
Are they just trying to do this to prevent like ankle injuries?
That's what the hopes were.
But they were slipping the entire
slipping the whole, so it like counteracted itself. So that was the first quarter. First quarter ended 7-7, correct? Yes, 7-7 first quarter. We jump to the second quarter. Jalen Hurts throws the deep ball. It is caught by A.J. Brown in the end zone. Great catch by A.J. Brown, but at the same time, Trent he turns. I think he just lost it in the air for a second. Mm-hmm. He was with him stride for stride. Mm-hmm. That should have been an easy interception or even just a knockdown. I think as soon as he turned, he just kind of lost it for a second, and A.J. Brown made a play.
I feel like that was just a great play by a great wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, he located the ball. A top-tier wide receiver does that, and he made the play.
And
I feel like
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Like we were saying, Jalen Hurts had so much time.
Yeah,
so much
time.
Both quarterbacks had so much time. Both did,
really. Yeah. So Philly goes on top 14-7, and Kansas City goes 3-and-out, and that's where I kind of was like, okay, we're gonna have to go blow for blow. We can't stall on drives, and it started to run in my mind of past Super Bowls. Mahomes hasn't played that great. If you look at the 2 Super Bowls we've been in, now 3, if you except for this one, he hasn't been lights out.
I wouldn't say the Tampa Bay is him. He had to run around.
Yeah. He was lights out. He was lights out.
He had to do everything.
What he was do. The stat sheet didn't show it, but he was lights out.
Yeah. So the Chiefs punt the ball away, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, we got to get a stop here. And boy, do we get a little more than a stop. We get Mizzou native himself, a nice scoop and score off the Jalen Hurts fumble. The bummer there for Hurts is he was trying to do the right thing. He's running with the ball. Mm-hmm. He was putting it in his other hand away from the defender and just kind of fumbled the transition, which, he's doing the little things. It just pops out, goes off his foot. Bolton's there, scoop and score, and that really changed the game from there. I think that was a really defining play. What are your guys' take on that?
That was, like you said, that was a really good play. But like you said, Jalen Hurts was just trying to switch the ball in the other hand, which would be the right thing to do.
Yeah,
happened so quick. I didn't expect it to happen. Like I was
just watching it and then bang bang. Yeah, and then next thing you know, Bolton's running in the end zone. Eagles respond with another touchdown. And, in the first and second quarter a lot, Eagles were using that kind of, I don't even call it a read option. It was more just a QB run. Like, I literally think they called these plays as pass plays, but everyone knew Jalen Hurts was running, and it was working effectively. They were moving the ball down the field, taking time. I mean, in the second quarter, I think Mahomes hadn't touched the ball in like 29 minutes.
Was it this quarter where it was the fourth down, and he needed 5 yards, and Jalen Hurts ran the read option,
and he ripped off like 30 yards or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mike Dana
We almost got him. Like shoestring almost tripped him up. So the Eagles go in for a touchdown. They take the lead on that one, 21-14. And then the Chiefs punt. That was the questionable Juju Smith-Schuster pass interference, which I think should have been
questionable.
Called.
That was
100% pass interference. 100% pass interference on the third down drive stopper. So if you look at the Chiefs' drives in the first half, we had a missed field goal where we didn't score. We had a quick 3-and-out punt, which was then responded with a scoop and score touchdown. And then we have a no PI call and another punt. And those were the only 3 possessions that they didn't score on.
I know we'll get you into it. We'll probably get into it later, but like, I'm not going to sit here and act like the rest didn't screw us too. There was some back that Nick. I don't care what anyone says. That Nick Bolton touchdown was second touchdown. That was a touchdown.
Oh yes,
that was a touchdown.
Yeah.
And then also me and Jalen were talking about in class the Lane Johnson false start.
Clearly,
clear and obvious. I don't get it.
Greg Olsen tried to defend him. It's a false start.
Exactly. He did it the whole time during the San Francisco game. Yeah. It was clearly.
And then whenever the Juju the Juju Bradbury happened at the end of the game. He was trying to defend the Eagles. Like,
yeah,
I guess he was an Eagles fan that day.
But he didn't see like the angles they were giving us.
They only showed one.
Yeah,
and they weren't calling it on the angle they were trying to show us. They were calling it on. I think it was whenever he turned, he like tugged right here, and that's what they were trying to hold it.
That's what they really got him on.
Because you can kind of tell if you look at it, that you can tell that that's what was happening.
And my thing with the Lane Johnson false starting is you don't have to call it every time, because if you call it once, it's in his head that they're going to look for it, and he won't be.
He's like
he's got a sinner's mentality, so he knows when that snap.
Go early.
He's just early.
Yeah,
he's just early. Call it once. It's in his mind that they're looking at it. He won't do it again. Like, he'll be closer to the snap. You got to call it once.
Is a sinner's mentality like is that get to avoid the rules or something? Like,
I think he's just trying to say that he's timing it up right.
Can Orlando Brown have a sinner's mentality now?
Yeah,
like
jump
the same thing and got a false start.
Got a false start for it. Other than those couple of flags, it was a pretty clean game. There wasn't any offensive holdings. There was no defensive pass interference.
I think both sides of the ball, O-line did very great.
Yeah. I was worried about that Dallas Cooper. They were looking at that too long.
Yes.
I thought they were about to screw us there.
Yeah. So, the Chiefs punt the ball back to Philly. Philly's up 21-14 at this point. And, that's when Mahomes goes down on the third down scramble with the ankle, and he's looking pretty gimpy. Let's go through our emotions at that point. Jalen? So you're watching TV, Mahomes goes down, you see him kind of grimacing on the ground. He gets up, he's limping. He's got his shoulder on the trainer. What's going through your mind at that point?
To me, I'm thinking, is that we was about to go into halftime?
We were about to go into halftime. We had just punted the ball back to the Eagles with about 2 minutes left.
I'm thinking, I really wasn't thinking that, because they did have a long halftime show now. I know they was going to do like preparation on his ankle, so I wasn't thinking like that. To me, I was thinking like, oh my God, what's finna happen now? Yeah. So I was like, is it we gonna put Chad Henne and just run the ball, or when we got like the ball back or something? Yeah. I was like, are we just gonna put Chad Henne in? But then they had the ball the whole 2 minutes, so I was like, it's cool.
I'll be all right. Ashton, any thoughts?
I thought we were going to school on Wednesday. That's what I thought.
I'm not gonna lie. I was in that same boat. I'm a superstitious person. I always stand during Chiefs games. I alternate between a Patrick Mahomes jersey, Travis Kelce jersey. I never sit down. I saw Mahomes on the ground, and I sat down. I thought, this is the same thing. We're going to school on Wednesday. This is not going to be good. But I had one deep thought in my mind.
If we would have lost, I wouldn't have been as mad. No, if we lost because Mahomes got injured
because of the ankle.
And I was also worried. I think it was in the first quarter when Devontae Smith went down, because I don't want to beat him because they had an injury too. I want to beat them because we beat them straight up.
And him getting up, he kind of looked a little more hurt than he. Yeah, his knee. I'm glad he came back in the game. Yes, his knee.
Yeah. And he had that. Wasn't a catch, but it was almost a catch. They called it a catch originally.
The Dallas Goedert one definitely was not a catch.
They looked at it for like 10 minutes.
Dude, he was catching the ball, juggled, catching the ball again, and juggled 1 foot inbound.
It was 1 foot.
Yeah, so Mahomes goes off, hobbling off. I was in all sorts of places, and then one little thought in the back of my mind stuck with me. It was, if we can hold him to a field goal here, we'll be fine. And what did we do? We held him to a field goal. Huge not to give up a touchdown. And like I said, I think all year with the Chiefs defense, bend, don't break. You know you're going to give up points because you have Patrick Mahomes on the other side. But those certain situations, I think that's what we're really good at, is when we truly need a stop, we can get a stop. When we truly can't give up a touchdown, we don't give up the touchdown. We'll give up the field goal, keeping it at a 10-point game, so it's 24-14 going into half. I know Philly fans are just ecstatic at this point. You got a 10-point lead going into halftime for the Super Bowl. You're about to watch Rihanna perform. Thoughts on Rihanna's performance?
Kind of overrated.
Yeah, I didn't like it. To myself, I was like, what's the point of halftime shows? I just don't get it.
I guess she knew what she wants, but why do you perform pregnant? Like, because you can't do as much. Like, you get paid that much, and you perform pregnant.
I agree with both of you, but I kind of looked at it on the positive side of, it wasn't, I don't feel like over the top. It wasn't like flashy. It wasn't like, oh, who's her big, like, guest celebrity person going to be? I thought the stage was cool, but it wasn't like over the top crazy.
I think my problem was that I went on social media. I think that was the problem. Because I shouldn't have gone to social media because people were kind of like saying it was the greatest of all time. I was like,
nah.
Bro, I don't like heights. I couldn't do what she did.
It's nowhere
all the way up
I
there.
would have been shaking on that platform.
It's not even the best like the last 5 years, let alone ever.
No. It was just what I think everybody needed.
I think I like.
She got her good songs out.
She
Everybody heard them.
I think she lip synced the entire time though.
She might have, honestly. Hey, props to Rihanna. It sounded good. All right. So then halftime, extended halftime. Good break. 29 minutes long, extended halftime. Mahomes gets his ankle. Some witch doctor back there did something.
Yes, something. No, he had it.
He came out no lamp.
Yes,
nothing.
something. Yes, something. Because
Robo
ain't no way.
ankle. So he comes out, and I texted my dad right as we get ready to kick off, and I said, "This first drive is going to make or break this game. It's going to determine the outcome of this game. I'm telling you, this first drive is going to be something." And the Chiefs just march down the field.
This is what I love about the offense.
Run, pass, run, touchdown. That was Pacheco's touchdown, right?
And as Jared McKinnon lead blocking, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Not a fullback.
They pulled him as the fullback.
Yeah.
Lays a good block.
Him and Trey Smith were the lead blockers.
And let's talk about Jared McKinnon right now because, and I've seen this going around social media. He is, I think, the true team player here. He goes off at the end of the regular season, 9 touchdowns, receiving touchdowns. He's got a chance to score a Super Bowl touchdown, or to go down and help his team secure a ring. And what does he do? He goes down. B, leading blocker on a touchdown. How many running backs do you see doing that?
I mostly see fullbacks and pulling guards to do that.
No running back wants to get their bell rung by a linebacker coming off the corner. So props to Jared McKinnon for just being a team player and earning that ring. So the Chiefs go down and score. They cut the lead to 24-21. Philly gets the ball, and we are a review away from saying Nick Bolton is the Super Bowl MVP. And let's break that play down.
I don't understand.
I don't understand.
3 steps.
He had
3 steps.
He catches L'Jarius Sneed. I love L'Jarius.
Oh my!
I love L'Jarius Sneed. But he caught the ball. And L'Jarius Sneed
he caught it.
That was. I think it was L'Jarius Sneed that hit him.
Yeah, it was Sneed. Yeah. Here's a thought on this too, and I thought about this fourth block today was, okay, so the rules stating, you got to have possession of the ball and then the 3-step rule, right? The 3-step.
It's 2-step.
That's where my thought.
It's 2. And he had full possession of the. He caught it. And L'Jarius Sneed.
But that's why I was saying he had 3-step. He had way more than 2-step.
What's the difference from a wide receiver tiptoeing the sideline, dragging a toe, catching the ball, and that?
Yeah, I know.
Clear it wasn't like it was a one-handed catch and a bobble.
Yeah.
2-handed swing pass catch, fundamental. He had it in the center of his body, 2 feet on the ground, and then gets blown up and fumbled.
And he was turning too.
Yeah, that's a catch.
What exactly is a football move?
Do they have to? That's where I'm just appalled that
should have been a touchdown.
Dude, that's where Nick Bolton gets MVP.
Nick Bolton was screwed out of an MVP.
Yeah.
He was screwed.
Nick Bolton was playing so good in that game too.
He was the player of the game.
Yeah,
because he deserved that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You think about that. That changes. Say we go up 28-24 at that point. I think the Eagles unravel, and this thing is a 42-31 game. I think we win by even more.
Oh, yeah.
But that play is overturned, ruled an incomplete pass. Philly, another long drive. So there's only 2 drives in the third quarter. Philly drives down, settles for a field goal to go up 27-21, and in the fourth quarter. And the magic of Andy Reid, Matt Nagy, and Eric Bieniemy, props to them. They scouted this defense so well to get 2 walk-in touchdowns in the fourth quarter of a Super Bowl just on defensive tendencies. It was a clinic. I've watched it over and over. They set that up both times with a jet sweep, the play before they ran for the touchdown. Both times they watched the cornerback turn their back completely, and they said, we got him. we got him.
Dude,
and
that
so,
route was so clean though. Like the little jersey ran in, came out. Like, hey, actually,
was
you wasn't
perfect.
lying. His route running is really
it's elite.
good.
His footwork's elite.
I just want to say, my boy Kadarius Toney
Yeah,
is a big reason why we won. I'm just saying.
You told us in
100%.
previous shows that his route running is elite.
100%.
My boy Kadarius Toney, he knows how to play football.
And so if you haven't seen it, and if you haven't seen it, I don't know how you're listening to this podcast, but Tony sticks his foot in the ground as soon as Darius Slay turns his back. They're just trying to cover, and he's got a walk-in touchdown. The Eagles come out, 3 and out, punt the ball, and then our boy Tony again. I love the still shots where he's surrounded by 5 Eagles, and it's this man returned it to the 5-yard line.
The ball was
should have had a touchdown, man.
Should have had a touchdown.
He
just
tired.
ran out of steam.
Yeah.
He was just like, ugh. But
dude, that was good blocking. I'm not gonna lie.
That was good blocking.
Marcus Kemp ran the whole way with him and threw about 3 or 4 blocks.
If he could had one more guy just
to
touchdown.
steamroll.
Dude, I saw Brian Cook just like push on and he just went flying.
Yes.
It was bad.
And then so that punt return puts the Chiefs on the 5-yard line or something like that. Mm-hmm. 5-yard line.
The exact same play.
And so on first down we run the ball.
Oh yeah.
Gain a yard. Mm-hmm. Second down, we run the jet sweep motion.
I thought we did
we did the spin.
Yeah.
And then we ran the jet sweep motion. What did Eagles do? The exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They turn their back. And then on that play, Mahomes throws it out of the end zone for an incomplete pass. His only incompletion of the second half.
Wait, no, I thought the spin around is where he threw the incomplete pass. Then the next play, we did the little jet touchdown. And then threw the touchdown. Yeah, to Scott.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So then we run the exact same play on the other side. We flip the field. Mm-hmm. Sky Moore runs the exact same route that Tony runs for another walk-in touchdown. I think Sky was more excited to get in the end zone. He sprinted in that thing. First touchdown in the Super Bowl. What a great moment for the young man. I think there's many more for him to come in Kansas City. It was a rough year for Sky.
Both of them.
Both, yes.
Yeah. Kadarius Toney is going to be a dog next year. He's going to be
man,
dog.
I can't wait.
If we lose anybody, I can't. Juju we could lose.
Juju we could.
And McCole we're going to lose.
Probably.
More than likely. Kadarius Toney is going to be what we think McCole should have been.
I was going to say McCole not McCole. Tony, and I think a mix of Tony and Sky Moore fills the role that McCole had easily.
I'm a little worried though about McCole because if you can't do good as a type of receiver he was in this system, I'm like how can you do it?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Can you do somewhere?
We
else?
always think he was going to be that next Tyreek Hill.
I do feel like he'd be a good Patriots receiver, something like that maybe.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I'm a little worried about that.
Yeah,
for him.
So yeah, I mean, and I'm on cloud 9 for Sky Moore. He had a rough year. Returning punts was questioned. He got, hand broken at one point. He was just trying to find his way. And I think this gives him all the confidence going into the offseason that he needed. Scoring a touchdown, contributing in the Super Bowl. Yeah. And then Philly goes on their drive for another touchdown. Dallas Goedert had one hell of a game. He's an underrated tight end. Honestly, I think he's number 4.
He had to have Leo Chenel, but it was only for like 2 yards.
I think he's number 3.
Okay. Travis Kelce 1, obviously.
George.
Yeah.
George Kittle.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Goddard.
Mm-hmm. Don Schultz is probably next.
Darren Waller.
Mark Andrews.
Oh, okay.
That's where I put him for.
And nah.
I would go Kelce, Kittle.
See, I like
Andrews, Goddard.
The thing with Goddard is that he's not the number 1 tight end. Like Kelce and Andrews, they're the number 1 receiving options on their team.
That's true.
Goddard isn't, and he still does.
He's still putting up the numbers.
I would really like.
I would put Goddard. I would only put Goddard over Andrews because I think Kelce.
I can see that.
I think Kelce's above everybody, but Kittle.
I'm not sold on Kittle.
Cowboys tight end is really good. Schultz.
I do.
I like Kittle. I
like
like
Kittle. I'm not sold.
I think he had a decent year last year. He had a bad year. I think it was 2020. He had a bad year.
To me, he's an athletic fullback.
Dude, he just
I don't know.
He's a good blocker.
He is.
He is.
Did you remember that one play against the Saints in 2019 when he was running
carried like 4
dude,
guys?
Yeah.
So props to Dallas Goedert. I mean, he was Jalen Hurts' safety valve all game, and he made the catches when he needed to. One could have been called an incomplete pass. Maybe should have been. It's a bang play, and like all reviews, those officials are calling it in real time. They don't get the luxury of slowing it down in the moment. Now we can with replay. But, everything's going to be in question when you slow it down that much. So props for him to making the play.
But when it's a catch, it should be, because
that's true.
You're ruling only a certain thing. It's not like
it's
not like you're ruling like how hard you hit somebody.
Yeah,
I'm talking about like the control of the ball. Like, so he caught it and then it started juggling.
Yeah,
and then he caught it again. But he had 1 foot in bounds.
I don't know how that was a catch. I don't know how that was a catch. It should have been incomplete.
Yeah. So Philly marches down the field and score a touchdown to put him down by 2. They got to go for 2. I thought we were going to stop him on the 2-point conversion. When Hurts started to roll out there, I was like, we've got the bodies over there.
Wasn't that play, because we challenged it, right?
We challenged
that Gobbert play?
Yes.
And they called a flag on the Eagles before because they didn't it was an illegal substitution or whatever, or they didn't let us substitute.
Yes, which gave us the ability to challenge it.
Which gave us the ability to challenge, but since we challenged it and it was declined, they took the flag away, I think.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a flag. I think the refs just came in and stopped to allow us to substitute, is what I think.
But it was a flag. That's they threw the flag out.
They threw a flag for because they was
so
they didn't give a chance to.
It would have been like
because they had lined up.
Yeah,
gotcha.
It would have been. It would have been. No, it's because they didn't let us
substitute.
Because they made a substitution, they didn't let us match the substitution.
Gotcha.
So
it would have been lined up. It should have been a flag.
Yeah, if they should have called that incomplete, so it would have been like 4th down or something. But since we challenged it and we wasted a challenge basically on that, it should have been 1-15, but it was 1-10 instead.
Yeah. So, end of the day, Philly goes down. Jalen Hurts gets his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game. What a game by Jalen Hurts! Elite level play.
Threw for like Hurts. 300
and rush for 70, 1 passing and 3 rushing touchdowns. I mean, that's MVP numbers.
It made me laugh at the end of the game because the Eagles fans were chanting MVP at halftime.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, he's pretty good.
He's pretty good, but he's not MVP.
He's not Patrick Mahomes good, but he's pretty good.
He is pretty good.
I say the Eagles.
They're
going to be a good team. That's what I'm going to talk about in my takeaway.
They're going to be a good team. Okay. So, the 2-point conversion, man, we were very close to stopping Jalen Hurts on the 2-point conversion. I thought, wow, this could be the game. And then we get the ball back, and at that moment, I had that feeling. I was like, we're going to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, Mahomes is going to march right down the field, and we're going to win the Super Bowl. You got
the ball in Mahomes' hand with 2 minutes left?
Game over.
Actually, we got the ball back with
like 5 minutes left.
Yeah, because the Eagles had it with 9. They had it with 9 minutes.
I think they scored with like 5 minutes left, and we got it maybe just under 5 minutes.
This why I was so happy. I was like, because the Eagles just kept chewing clock. I was like, oh yeah,
and we
got it.
And so we had to use some clock there at the end of the game, and then we have the 3rd down wheel route that everybody's talking about. It's a hold. Plain and simple, it's a hold. They called it. Do they call it every time? No. Did they call it this time? Yes. And it's a hold.
You can clearly see the angles. It's just the angles they was giving us. No one can really tell.
Yeah.
But I saw another angle. It was when Juju was for the break and he just grabbed his jersey.
Yeah. He got him twice. And I want to credit Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts on the way they handled it.
Why is the literally the corner that they called the penalty on came out and said it was a hold.
It was a hold,
yeah.
And people are still trying to say it wasn't a hold. That doesn't make sense. Wait, what?
Make sense. And
imagine you robbed a bank and everyone's trying to say no, he didn't rob the bank. Oh yeah, I did rob the bank.
I robbed the bank.
He didn't rob the bank.
He didn't rob that bank. Yes. And I think Eagles fans in the moment, yes, you feel like you got robbed of a championship on a holding call, but listen to your head coach, listen to your quarterback, listen to the corner that committed the holding. All of them said, you can't put a whole game worth of plays and pinpoint it on one holding call. That doesn't make or break a game.
Well, yeah, because they allowed
1 second.
They allowed 24? A touchdown every single drive. That's their problem.
That's why they lost.
They shouldn't have.
Supposedly the best D line in the league.
Which I want to get into in my breakdown of the Eagles.
I've got a couple ones for you too. Chiefs put up 24 points in the second half, and that's the reason why Philly lost the game is they gave up 24 points in the second half.
Yep.
And a couple things I want to bring up here. The Chiefs averaged 6.4 yards per play last night. I'm reading this tweet.
Yeah.
During the Super Bowl, they averaged 6.4 yards per play. All season, the Eagles allowed a league best 4.8 yards per play. Okay? For context, the worst defensive yards per play this year, can you name the team, had the worst, gave up the most yards per play in the NFL?
Texans?
No. It's a near and dear team to our hearts. We like them for their offense.
Chargers?
No.
The Lions.
The Lions.
Yes.
The Lions.
That makes sense.
And they were in a bunch of shootouts.
Yeah.
The Lions averaged 6.2, giving up 6.2 yards per play. Okay? That was the worst in the NFL. The Chiefs averaged 6.4. So the Chiefs offense turned the best, like you said, defense in the NFL and the Eagles to statistically the worst defense in the NFL.
Worse than the Lions.
Worse than the Lions.
So the Lions aren't the worst anymore.
The Lions are not the worst anymore.
But I want to give a lot of credit to our O-line. That was, that's probably the best game I ever saw our O-line play. I'm not going to lie.
I think they took it personally when they said, "Oh, this D-line's going to eat them up." They felt undervalued.
When we were running the ball, they were moving them.
It seemed like they didn't rush a whole lot too. Like they only sometimes I'd look up and they only would rush. Like, I'm not trying to take away credit. I'm just saying, like, what are you doing? Why are you only rushing?
Andrew Wiley was pancaking to Son Reddick. I was like, oh man, this is a great day. Great day.
Oh, they were just different that day.
In another, magic Patrick Mahomes stat.
But he was blaming the field too. He said the condition of the field was
sliding all over the place.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, because there was that play. I think it was it Hardgrave or was it Graham that when they were trying to rush and they slipped.
It was Hassan Reddick actually. He was going outside.
I thought it was Graham. I don't know why.
So if you had no idea that the outcome of this game and you heard this of the Eagles are 11 of 18 on third down, 2 for 2 on fourth down, really 3 for 3 with a penalty. They held the ball for 36 minutes, scored 35 points, and averaged 5.8 yards per play. And they lost. That's Patrick Mahomes. That is what Patrick Mahomes can do. The Eagles had the ball for 36 minutes of the game.
Dude, I was like, second quarter, I was wondering why the clock moving down so fast. I'm like, oh, they're just chewing clock.
I was starting to get depressed. I'm like, I don't even see our offense on the field anymore. We're watching our defense just get worked out here.
With Mahomes, it's no longer an overreaction to say he's one of the best players ever.
Easily. This game
top 10 ever.
Him.
Top 10 ever.
So we had this debate in fourth block. A lot of people said that Mahomes is not a top 5 quarterback all time right now.
Right now?
Right now. A lot of them put it at number
6. You mean like
all time?
Oh, I thought you said top 5 like in.
Oh, no, he's
top 1.
Is he top 5 all time?
Yes. Name me 3 guys.
So right now, what I got in front of him,
he's arguably top 3.
Right now, what I got in front of him is Tom Brady and Joe Montana.
That's exactly what
wait, are we talking about stats or as a player? Because stats-wise, it's hard to...
Stats-wise, it's hard to...
As a player...
My justification
Mahomes is 10 times better than Brady.
No one is doing what Mahomes is doing. And I think I'll give the edge to Brady just because stats-wise.
Stats-wise, but player-wise, Mahomes and Rodgers are better than Brady as a player. Mahomes, in their prime, peak prime, I'm taking Mahomes and Rodgers.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's just because Tom Brady...
And I'd take Montana.
Tom Brady didn't have a lot of good... He wasn't good at, moving around.
No, he was just a good system quarterback. And I don't care what anyone says. He was a good system quarterback.
And that's why they won so many championships. It wasn't Tom Brady making play after play. They relied on defense. Mm-hmm. They hit a great spell of, great teams. The right pieces were in the right place. Mahomes is that playmaker of Kansas City. If Mahomes isn't in Kansas City, I don't think we have a Super Bowl to talk
Same thing
about.
with Rodgers. If Rodgers is better, in my opinion, I don't really care what anyone says. Rodgers is better than Favre, easy. As a Packer, easy.
Yeah,
that's kind of a hot take.
That is a hot take.
I like Brett Favre.
I like Brett Favre too, but Rodgers is better than Favre as a Packer.
Brett Favre to me is Josh Allen.
That's a hot take. That's a hot take.
He's a gunslinger. There's no risk. There's high risk, high reward, but he turns the ball over a lot.
Fair.
Brett Favre led the league in interceptions.
Got a Super Bowl under him, though.
That is true.
Yeah, the Bills haven't, and it doesn't look like they're going to get one anytime soon. They were supposed to get one this year. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Unbelievable from the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes this postseason, 72 of 100, So that's 72% of his passes were completed. 703 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a Super Bowl MVP.
What's his QBR for the postseason?
Good question. I don't have that.
Really good. It was really good.
Keep in mind, he did this all with a high ankle sprain. Basically, all playoffs.
Oh, the whole playoffs.
The whole
Besides
playoffs.
the first half against the Jaguars.
If you're anybody else in the NFL, what can you do? The man's 27. He's going to be around for a little longer.
Yeah,
most quarterbacks play to like 40.
Like, does the Super Bowl...
Despite what all these things...
Does the Super Bowl run through Kansas City? Is it too early to say that? Is it a dynasty?
It's like saying Super Bowl
dynasty
ran through New England.
I see. This might be a crazy take, but I'm saying Mahomes get more Super Bowls than Tom Brady.
Whoa, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
that's a crazy take, but
7 or 6
Seven?
Mahomes has 2 right now.
total?
He has 2 right now at age 27.
I thought he had 6.
He has 7.
That's what I... See, I said 7, and then
Wild.
my teacher said 6. I thought it was 7.
But Mahomes is with 2 rings at age of 27. You don't think he could catch Tom Brady?
That's going to be tough.
Well, you got to think about it.
I think all the
at least-
stars aligned for New England to win those when they did.
I
Keep
don't-
in mind, Tom Brady went 10 years without winning one, too.
Yeah.
He won 3. 10-year gap, he won 3 more.
I'm going to... Prediction, in the next 3 years, I don't know which exact years, but in the next 3 years, not including this one, we're going to have 2 more Super Bowl rings.
Whoa, 2. 2 more in 3. I don't know about 2. I think we win at least 1 in 3 more.
I say we win next year.
If we can keep the team,
I like our odds to go back to back.
And then I'd say... I feel like there's going to be someone... I feel like the Bengals are probably going to get something like...
Are we in the Super Bowl 3 straight years?
If we have the team right now that, like, I say we're on another run.
See, that's where I say 2 and 3, because I'm just going hot takes.
Hot takes left and right.
3 years, right? That's a long time.
Yeah.
So 3 years, not this year. So it'd be the 2026 season.
Mm-hmm.
The Jacksonville Jaguars in the Super Bowl.
Ooh,
That's just saying Jacksonville's got to beat Kansas City.
But you're thinking about it right now. I'm talking about in 3 years.
Yeah.
Where they're going, where Lawrence is going.
I mean, the weapon that's coming in for them is...
Where's Mahomes going to be in 3 years?
It's great. Well, he's going to be...
Keeps going up.
Lawrence is going to be around the same age Mahomes is right now.
Is this season better than Mahomes' first MVP season?
Yes.
Is it better than his Super
Just
Bowl
'cause he didn't have
season?
He didn't... Wait.
Yeah.
Did he have the same amount of interception that he did is the MVP season?
I don't know.
I think
I'm pretty close.
The Super Bowl season, he didn't play a couple games because he dislocated his kneecap against the Broncos. Remember, so he was out against the Vikings.
And was it just the Vikings? Because
No,
didn't we have a
2
bye
games.
week after
It was
that?
2 games. Vikings, because Chad Henne played and we went like 1-1 with him. It was the Vikings and it was the Vikings and then we played the Titans. I think it was the week after.
I think it was Tennessee.
And then he came back the Packers game, right?
No, it was Green Bay we played because everyone was mad about Rodgers and Brady wasn't going to happen.
Rodgers Mahomes wasn't
going to happen because Mahomes was injured.
Yep.
So it was we played
that's right.
the Vikings and then, I know we played the Packers and then we played the Vikings.
Yep.
We lost the Packers and we beat the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Wow. I'm with Jalen though. I don't think it's set in that we're Super Bowl champs. I think tomorrow when we're downtown or when I'm downtown.
Should we?
I would be down there too.
Should we do a run around top 5 quarterbacks in football right now?
Oh,
I think that should be fun. Just to kind of end the year. You can start
Top 5 in the year. You want me to start?
Yeah, try to go off this year, I guess.
Okay.
Does it have to be in order or could just top 5?
5.
I mean, you probably should.
I would
top
put
5
okay
in order.
I'm gonna put
Okay.
Mahomes at 1.
Yeah.
Hot take: Jalen Hurts at 2.
I like that.
3, I'm gonna give the nod to Joe Burrow. 4, I'm gonna go. This is gonna be a hot take. I'm gonna go. 4. I'm trying to think of any NFC quarterbacks, and there's none. 4. No, get out
No,
of
you're
here.
right.
4. Another hot take. I'm gonna go Justin Herbert.
I think go Fields. I was like, ugh, I don't know about
And then
that.
5, I'll give it to Josh Allen. He's trending down right now, I think, in my eyes. I put Herbert over Allen. So, yeah, Mahomes 1, Hurts 2, Burrow 3, Herbert 4, Allen 5.
I can go. Or do you want to go next?
All right, give me Mahomes, of course. I like that take. So give me Jalen Hurts. After what I saw in the Super Bowl,
that was elite.
I like that. Give me Jalen Hurts. Give me like you said, Joe Burrow. I'm gonna have to go 4. Go ahead and give me Josh Allen. 5.
I wouldn't put him up there, but Lamar Jackson crossed my mind, but I don't think he's top 5.
Just because he didn't play.
For right, I want when Aaron Rodgers had a decent receivers.
Yeah.
Give me Aaron Rodgers.
See, then if we're doing the what if, I'm putting Lamar at 5.
Okay.
I don't care what anyone says.
So
if we're doing what if, I'm putting Lamar at 5. Lamar, like
he's a running back.
Lamar.
So my 1, I have Mahomes, 2, Jalen Hurts, 3, Joe Burrow, 4, Josh Allen, 5, Aaron Rodgers.
If Lamar was on like literally any other team that could protect him,
But he's on the Ravens.
yes, I know. But he's not this year. Not after. I don't think he's gonna get traded.
Who knows?
Because he's not playing on a franchise tag.
No.
Lamar has besides Mahomes, and I think Josh Allen has the most talent at quarterback. No, besides Mahomes and Justin Herbert, Mahomes, Allen, and Herbert has the most talent.
Burrow?
I'm talent. I'm not talking about talent.
Okay.
Lamar has the
That's
most
fair.
talent.
That's fair. So who's your 5?
So Mahomes obviously 1. I know I'm just gonna go with Burrow at 2 just because I think he's done it for 2 years now.
Yeah.
Compared to just 1. So I'm gonna go Burrow 2.
Mm-hmm.
Close number 3 with Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna go Josh Allen 4. I don't care. Lamar 5.
Give him Lamar.
Lamar, he hasn't had like receivers though.
Lamar,
that's the thing.
His receivers are Lamar with Garrett Wilson.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what Jalen Hurts' offseason looks like.
Yeah, that's what.
How bad's that shoulder?
Yeah, that's what I put. That's what I.
I saw they said that his shoulder was way better than it was. Like I don't remember what the reporter was saying. It was like way better than it was. Like I don't remember.
I don't think he was 100%. I think it showed on the Hail Mary.
Oh yeah.
That was a wounded duck getting out there. I think
he'll probably have surgery.
I think he's gonna have surgery. But hell of a game from Jalen Hurts. Hell of a Super Bowl altogether. I mean, the only thing that penalty at the end did, I think, was rob everyone watching of what could have been. You know, the Chiefs would have still kicked a field goal. Yes, it would have been a longer field goal. I think Butker makes it. We still are up 3. The Eagles have 1 timeout and, 1:30 left?
Yeah.
We're looking at a possible game-winning drive, a game-tying drive in overtime. Things work out, things don't work out. So either way,
if it went to
overtime,
it was us.
Yeah. I think we would have won that coin toss in March.
How it was going, well, the overtime rules were different. It's different.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
It would have been a Kelsey touchdown, and we would have.
Who did they change for? Oh, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Which is still wild because the Chiefs put in for their request the year before.
Yes, when we played the Patriots.
Yep.
And
which is wild. All right, so that was our Super Bowl breakdown again. It feels great to say the Kansas City Chiefs are on top of the world again. Let's get it one more time from Andy.
Hey, how about those Chiefs?
Hey, the Travis Kelce. Man, I love the line.
I love Travis. I can't wait to see what he does at the parade. I hope it goes wild.
You gotta fight for your right to party. Man, that gives me hype.
Let's get our 3 takeaways from the Super Bowl. We'll start with Ashton and we'll work our way around. Ashton, what do you got for us?
You want to go with me?
Yeah,
okay.
Let's fire it over.
Well, I was going to do some off-season stuff for the Eagles.
Okay. You want to go Jalen first? We got 3 takeaways. We'll go, any 3 takeaways. What are you looking for? Off-season, takeaways from the Super Bowl, or 3 takeaways from the NFL year altogether?
My takeaway from the Super Bowl was that there was 2 really good teams playing, and they both could be back next year. What I saw in that game, they obviously both could be back, and then if the Eagles can re-sign key players, they obviously could be back too. After seeing what Jalen Hurts did, that team is really good.
Yeah.
And you know who we got? That boy Mahomes. It feels great to have Mahomes on the team. It just feels great. But like I was saying,
you can sleep easy at night knowing Mahomes is your quarterback.
Yeah, even though the Chiefs might give you a little sometimes, but hey, the Chiefs and the Eagles definitely could be back. That's what I got.
Ashton?
Okay, well, I was gonna go off-season stuff.
Yeah.
Eagles wise, I'm a little worried. Off-season goes because they got a lot of key players on defense, and they're losing.
It's like their whole secondary,
and they're losing their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. Which, by the way, that's why I put the Cardinals in here. What are you doing? How do you It's literally in your home ground, and out of the two defensive coordinators, you chose the worst one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Spag deserved it, but
no,
I don't. He doesn't deserve it either.
No.
And Eagles are losing Javon Hargrave too. He's a free agent.
They're losing Javon Hargrave. They're losing James Bradbury. They're losing possibly Fletcher Cox. I think Brandon Graham too.
And the question for me too is like, yes,
CJ Chauncey Gardner Johnson.
Why didn't? Oh, never mind. Wait. CJ. Oh yeah.
It's a full year resume for these coordinators to get jobs, but I think you grade them most when it comes down to make or break situations. Example, the Super Bowl. The Eagles used Jalen Hurts' legs all first half and then went away from it after they were dominant. Second half, they didn't. Is that a red flag as somebody hiring an offensive coordinator? Like, you had the game won on the legs of Jalen Hurts. Why did you stop running him?
My question is why did the Eagles fire their offensive coordinator? They didn't do too bad. So
they didn't fire him. They just lost him.
Yeah.
Like they lost.
Made a jump.
That's also a big. I like the offensive coordinator move for the Colts because you're looking at they got the 4th pick. They could trade up for the number 1, get Bryce Young.
Yeah,
Bryce Young and Jalen Hurts are not similar, but they're you can kind of they're close.
Yeah.
So I do like that for them.
Yeah.
But with the with the defense coordinator, what's the point? Like he hasn't done anything to prove that he deserves.
It's window dressing. It's eye candy.
Yeah,
and they went to the Super Bowl. They had a good year.
As far as that for the Eagles goes, they have to replace 2 coordinators that they lost.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough to do in the NFL.
Yeah. And I doubt Bieniemy's going to go from the Chiefs to the
Does
Eagles.
Bieniemy get a job anywhere else?
I don't know.
He could. There's been looks about an offensive coordinator.
I don't see him leaving though. I see him staying up under Andy's wing until it's time for Andy to retire.
That's what I think too.
That's what I think he's waiting out for.
But also he's getting older, so maybe he wants to take a head coach job as he can because I think a big reason that he hasn't been looking at a starting job is that people think that like it's Andy that calls the plays and all that, and it's not. It's not Bieniemy that writes the plays or anything like that. But everyone says that Bieniemy calls the plays, but apparently, like a lot of teams think that Andy's the one that actually calls the play, and Andy's the one that runs the observation, that runs it, so that Bieniemy maybe goes somewhere else and he proves that he can do it somewhere else, and then he gets a
head coaching job.
Yeah, head coaching job.
I think that's going to be his route. Is if he truly wants to be a head coach, and maybe he doesn't want to be a head coach. Maybe he goes in these interviews and kind of goes through the motions because he likes where he's at in Kansas City. But I agree with Ashton. I think for him to become a head coach, he's going to have to go somewhere else and prove he can do it without Reed, without Mahomes, as an offensive coordinator, and then probably jump to that head coach spot.
Yep. And then if he does that, then he deserves a head coach job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because basically everyone besides LaShawn McCoy says that he deserves a head coaching job.
He hates Eric Bieniemy.
And LaShawn McCoy is like the only player ever, so I'm not going to trust that he just.
Yeah.
That's
one
like,
guy.
That's like you guys remember
1,000.
the Alabama player. Again, in the I think it was 2019 national championship that pushed the coach and then like was yelling in Saban's ear and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then he transferred and then went in an interview and said that the inside isn't as good. That's the one guy.
You're just mad that you got kicked out.
Exactly. you're mad because coach yelled at you. Come on.
Any other takeaways, Chiefs wise? Good. We won the Super Bowl. All's good. Yeah. My biggest
just got to re-sign Juju.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Just re-signing people.
My takeaways are going to be NFL lookout because on a rebuilding year and the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, I don't see how you stop them next year, especially if we bring guys back. My big thing is going to be re-signing Juju,
especially with this. It's not super deep, but it's a good draft class.
Yeah, and with 11 draft picks after winning a Super Bowl, that's pretty nice to have.
Yeah, well, I can't remember how many we have, but yeah. And also we have the 31st pick because the Dolphins forfeited their.
Thank you, Dolphins.
Yeah,
I feel like we always get our good picks in the late rounds. Though,
Yeah.
So
We're going to find somebody.
Well, that's normally where we're always drafting, unless we trade up. But there's no one really to trade up unless we want to pull a shocking trade. Frank Clark, our first round pick to like the Cardinals for Will Anderson. I'll take it.
Hold on.
What?
No.
Hold on.
Frank
I mean, in the postseason, but in the regular season, I do not like Frank Clark. When it comes to the postseason,
He
Frank
performs.
Clark
He
performs
performs.
great.
There's not a world where I'm taking Frank Clark over Will Anderson. Long term franchise, there's not a world. I mean, we're not actually going to do it.
Yeah.
But his Frank Clark's cap,
that is true.
Will Anderson's potential. There's not a world where I don't take Will Anderson over Frank Clark.
He's got his 2 rings. Good for them.
But we was talking about it earlier. Chris
Will
Jones,
Anderson's the best player in the draft. That's what we should have been talking about.
We was talking about Chris Jones, how he needs to get a big contract before his 1-year deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Will
Sign
Anderson's
long
cheap
term. Yeah.
compared to Frank Clark, who's gonna have a massive cap hit. And I think I was looking at it. Like I think if we get rid of him, we go up from like whatever we're at now to like 36 million. And do you guys really think that? I think we're at like 16. So you guys think Frank Clark is 20 million worth?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
At the postseason, I say.
Okay, for 4 games. Is it?
I don't know. He showed up. But hey, we're Super Bowl champions.
We can't be paying someone 20 million for 4 games.
Yeah. We're Super Bowl champions.
And don't we
either
get
way.
a bonus on top of winning Super Bowl?
I think there's some money brought in, yeah.
I think you just get like some of the revenue and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like a cash prize.
That will do it for today's. God, it feels good. Today's Super Bowl champion review of the Kansas City Chiefs. That is Kansas City 38, Philadelphia Eagles 35.
We would have canceled if the Eagles won.
Yeah, we weren't. You weren't going to see our
I was
faces
not going to be in
for
a good
while if the
mood.
Eagles won.
I was not going to be in a good mood.
We're going to break.
I'm gonna have to get used to the camera
being low. I know.
Yeah.
I haven't really looked at it this much. Yeah, we're Super Bowl champions. Thank you always for listening. I know the NFL season has come to an end for this year. That's not going to stop us. We're going to
still got a spring football.
Spring football. We've got
Mock
USFL.
drafts.
We've got mock drafts. We've got fantasy
Free
stuff.
agency.
We've got free agency.
Mm-hmm.
We've got coaching carousels. We've got it all for you. So stick
Little
around.
college basketball.
Little college basketball sprinkled in. Little March Madness as it kind of gets underway. So stay with us here. Again, thank you for tuning in to Fifth Block Sports for our weekly listeners. You guys mean a lot. Keep those views coming. We always like to see it. This has been a wrap on the 2022-2023 NFL season.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go around, close it out for the last time as Super Bowl champions.
Ashton.
Jalen.
We're on top of the world. We'll see ya.